there's another one. Greetings audience, I'm Boomstick, and today we're going to be talking about the Crooked Cousin. Now the Crooked Cousin is the newest iteration of the Little Rocket, much like the Proud Papa from Tariq and Out of Darts. I did a review last year of the Little Rocket and Proud Papa, so I'll have that linked somewhere up there. If you go check out my original thoughts on that, we'll be covering a lot of the basics, which I won't be going into as many of the basics with this because, again, I covered them all in there, and this is pretty much the same thing in a different form factor. Now, the Crooked Cousin is a rail-attached Little Rocket, much like the Proud Papa, except this one is more of a foregrip. So instead of having to move your hand to the top to hit the Proud Papa, your hand can actually stay in pretty much the same position and push the trigger on the back. The Crooked Cousin attaches very easily to the rail using the nuts and the screws attached right here. Now, 3D printed Picatinny I found to be kind of inconsistent in how they're shaped, so it'll have a different fit to each blaster, but for the most part, I've got a pretty solid connection between the Crooked Cousin and the Picatinny for the blaster. The assembly for the Crooked Cousin is very simple and straightforward. If you've built a Little Rocket or Proud Papa, you won't even need the assembly video. It's just that straightforward and easy. I had no trouble. I think I got like halfway through Out of Darts' build video before I'm like, nah, I got this. And I just kind of got ahead of the video and just eventually just didn't finish it. So if you built one before, you can build this one very easily. It's a very simple package with just your trigger, your base cap, your pull, and then a plunger on the inside. It's really, really simple, so you'll have no trouble assembling your own. The Crooked Cousin is, of course, compatible with all the different Little Rocket barrels, whether it be the Elite, the Ultra, the Rival, the Boomco, the Half Dart, the Inline Clip, or the Triple or Half Dart Blast. And much like the Little Rocket and Proud Papa, it's a very solid design. This blaster is built like a brick. One thing that a few people were worried about I was talking to was the print orientation and whether or not the weak points and where they would be. But looking at it myself, you can tell very clearly it's all printed on this. So you got a nice diagonal print layer, so the stress points here aren't going to break, which is fantastic. Especially if you're using it to prime a high-powered blaster, which we'll get into that later. Funny enough, I actually find that the Crooked Cousin is actually more comfortable to use by itself than the Little Rocket itself, just because it has more hand-holding space. The T-pole likes to smack my finger when priming because I have a tendency of trying to hold it while trying to prime it. It'll like smack my hand or my finger. It's a good blaster, it's just a little too compact for my hands. Whereas this is actually a lot more comfortable, and I'd love to actually see a Little Rocket version of the Crooked Cousin. So basically without the rail attachment, if we get rid of the rail attachment, I think it actually would be perfect. And you actually can use your habits that you built firing a normal blaster of aiming. Whereas aiming this, I found, because of the way you have to bend your wrists and everything, makes me a little less inaccurate. That's just been my experience. Again, I do love the Little Rocket, and I think it's a great little pocket pistol. But I think if I'm going to run one of these for a pistol round, it's just going to be running the Little Rocket by itself. Now, Out of Darts has said that it's not really meant to be used as a pump grip, I think just because of the extra stress that you're going to be putting on it, especially with a more high-powered blaster. However, I've had no trouble priming my SBL or my Mega U-Burn using the Crooked Cousin. Now, I will mention, I am not priming it from the bottom, like you would think with a normal vertical foregrip, and held it more up here. That way less of the weight is on the blaster itself in that twisting motion, and most of it is put onto the Picatinny. So I found by just priming it this way, I've had no trouble at all. So without further ado, let's head outside and take some shots. I've got a new setup for my firing range I'm eager to test out. I did run into one problem where when the Crooked Cousin was primed and I tried to prime the blaster, it would hit my Talon mag, but all I should have to do is move the Crooked Cousin one more notch forward and it should be fine. As you saw from the firing demo, it fires pretty much just like a little rocket. Now when I put it over the chronograph, I did find that the Crooked Cousin is actually shooting just a little bit weaker than a little rocket and the Proud Papa. Again, mostly due to the fact that it has to be angled. So there is the fact that it is a little weaker. However, for I think this blaster design, it's not exactly a huge deal to be a little bit weaker. Now let's talk about the prime. Out of Darts did also say that he kind of recommends the weaker spring just because it's easier to prime off the blaster. I didn't really have a problem priming it. My only complaint is that this is my first time using the ring style pulls. I thought that'd be a little bit easier. However, I found the rings to actually be pretty uncomfortable to prime with. I didn't want to use the T-pull style because I thought that might be a little too bulky. So honestly, if you're going to get one of these, I actually recommend getting the paracord style. I think that would be an easier and more comfortable option to go with. And when firing off the Crooked Cousin off of a blaster, I found it's actually easier to aim, much like the difference between the little rocket and the Crooked Cousin. Because your blaster is already pointed in that direction, instead of having to move your hand, giving you time to basically mess up your shot, it is just a little bit more convenient to just reach around and go boop, and there you go. And you can just do that while you're firing off your normal shots with your primary. Or if you're running a flywheel blaster or something like that, I can imagine this being extremely useful on something like a Percy's or other full auto flywheel blasters. Just having that Mega Blast ready to go. So yeah, I definitely think that having the Crooked Cousin underneath your blaster is a lot easier to aim at than having the Proud Papa on top. Just because of the moving of your hands, you don't have to worry about it. So do I recommend the Crooked Cousin? Absolutely. I definitely think you should grab one. So I'm definitely going to be ordering a bunch more because I don't feel like taking them on and off my blaster, which is a little time consuming but not the worst. Because I'm going to want to run it on my SBL, on my Neutrino, on my Mega Burn U, on my Flak, on my FTEC. I'm going to want to run them on everything. Now I'll have the Out of Darts store linked down below in the description. I highly recommend picking one of these up. It'll be quite invaluable to use, especially when running against shields or special zombies. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of the Crooked Cousin. If you'd like to support the channel, definitely check out my Teespring. I've got lots of fun designs on there. Also, for the month of August, I have a new sticker design. If you want to grab them, go to Patreon, sign up for the appropriate level for the month of August, and you will be receiving the Boomstick Mods emoji sticker pack. It'll be fun. I'm actually really excited about these. So, if you sign up in August, that's what you'll be getting for this month. But if you don't want to do any of that, you can always comment down below. Definitely let me know what you think of the Crooked Cousin and what blaster you'd actually like to run it on. Hit the like button as it really helps out the channel. And hey, if you want to see more from myself and others around me, definitely hit the subscribe. Thank you all for watching. I've been Boomstick, and I'm out.